Welcome to grade 9 geometry of straight lines. Today we are focusing on perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines are two lines that intersect each other at an angle 90 degrees. So I'm going to draw two lines and I'm going to call them A and BC. So that means A, B, and then BC. So this is the point of intersection. They intersect at 90 degrees. So that angle is 90 degrees. So we say AB is perpendicular to BC. In short, we show it like this. That's AB. It's perpendicular to BC. So once you see this sign, it means, let me use a different color. So let me see. Right here. So that sign is perpendicular. So that means AB is perpendicular to BC. Now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove this 90-degree angle, the 90-degree angle, then it's fine, I will leave it there. So I'm going to divide angle B into two, then I'm going to call this first one angle B1, then the other one B2. So this is how we write it. So to write angle B1, we have a cap on top, then we've got B1, one below the B, so that angle B1, then plus angle B2 is equal to 90 degrees because we have said that's a right angle. So that's angle B1 plus angle B2 is equal to 90 degrees. So these two angles, the two angles that add up to 90 degrees, we call them complementary angles. Complementary angles. Complementary angles. At times we use this sign for angles. So we use that sign for angles. So we're using that sign for angles. So let me just give you some examples of complementary angles. 50 degrees plus 40 degrees is equal to 90 degrees. So those two angles are complementary. So because they add up to 90 degrees. You can also have 35 degrees plus 55 degrees is equal to 90 degrees. Let me just give you a different scenario. X degrees plus 90 degrees minus X is going to be equal to 90 degrees. Now we are using variables now. We can also have 90 degrees minus 3b degrees plus 3b is equal to 90 degrees. So those two angles are complementary. So all these angles are complementary. Now let's have some problems. Can you see now we've introduced the variable. So there are times when we are required to calculate the unknown. Let's have this example number 1. We have got 90 degrees there. And then we can have angle of 90 degrees split into 2. So this one will be 75 degrees and this one will be X degrees. Now they'll say calculate X. So now I want to calculate X now. Now we'll say now X plus 75 degrees is equal to 90 degrees. And in geometry will always give a reason. So a statement and reason. Why do you say that? These angles are complementary. So these two angles are complementary. Then we make x the subject. So x is equal to 90 degrees minus 75 degrees. So therefore, x is equal to 15 degrees. Let me have another example. Example number 2. We can have our angle then that's the 90-degree angle. Then we've got our 15 degrees here. Then we've got here 5b. So it means 15 degrees plus 5b is equal to 90 degrees. We give a reason, complementary. So then let's make 5b the subject. 5b is equal to 90 degrees minus 15 degrees, which means 5b is equal to 75 degrees. But we are b, so what do we do? Divide by 5, divide by 5. That means b is equal to, that's 1, that's a 5, so that's 15 degrees. Right, then we have got, I'm going to give you a slightly different example now. Slightly different example. Let me scroll the page. Scroll the page now. Number 3. Number 3. I'm going to give you 3 angles. Let me give you 3 angles here. So the 90-degree angle is split into 3. So I have 1, 2, 3. So I'll call this one x, call this one 2x, and then I call the last one, let me call it 50 degrees. It's the kind of something. So that means we are now going to say x plus 2x plus 50 degrees is equal to 90 degrees. And to give a reason, complementary angles. So 3x, x plus x, that's 3x, is equal to 90 degrees as 50 degrees. So it means this is going to be 3x is equal to 40 degrees. So to get our angle now, it's going to divide by 3, divide by 3. So x is equal to 13,333, and it continues like that, degrees. So I put round off to 1 decimal place. Therefore, x is equal to 13,3 degrees. The last example that I'm going to give now is going to be slightly different. Number 4. So I'm going to draw my perpendicular line like this. Then I'll put my perpendicular lines there. Then I will put my angles on the other side. So I'm going to put my angles on this side. So this is going to be 3x minus 10 degrees. Then this one is going to be 7x plus 50 degrees. Then calculate x. So these angles are side by side. Also call them adjacent side. So they are side by side. So if this side is 90 degrees, then automatically this other side is also 90 degrees. So they are still complementary angles. So now we can now say 3x minus 10 degrees plus 7x plus 50 degrees is equal to 90 degrees. We still have our reason. Let me just write it here, complementary angles. Then I've got 3x plus 7x. 3x plus 7x, that's 10x, is equal to 90 degrees minus 50 degrees plus 10 degrees. So 10x is equal to 90 minus 50, that's 40 plus 10, that's 50, which is equal to 50 degrees. So that means we're looking for x, so divide by 10. So x is equal to 5 degrees. Thank you for watching.